Welcome. In front of me I have the Logitech G502 X Plus mouse, and I'll be going over unboxing along with a quick look at the mouse and also its specifications. Okay, so let's get into it. Now, I am genuinely kind of fond of the Logitech mice. I use one for like a past decade, but I use a very cheap and old one, the G305. So just saying, I do use them and I do enjoy Logitech mice specifically. So just get into this. I like the fact that they added little pull tabs right here, so it just makes it a little bit easier to get the thing unboxed. There we go. Okay, so right here we get the mouse itself. Nothing at the top. So I'm gonna keep this, as we do have all the information listed right here on the side. Now the mouse itself is, I would say, relatively light. Not the lightest thing, obviously. What is this? Oh, it's just a replaceable button. Now, does it actually say the weight right here anywhere? Oh wait, I think it was right. That's what I... Wait, 106 grams. So like I said, it's not the lightest one. Most ultralight mice come out about 50 something grams, 50 to 60. So this is much heavier compared to those. But it also comes with some gimmicks that you probably don't really need in a ultralight mouse. So we got those here, and we also get additional weight because of it. Now, taking a look at this, we do have the dongle right here and the replaceable button if you want to swap it out, which is, I believe, this one. Yep, so you can see you can change out the aiming button, whatever you want to call it. You get a Type C to Type A cable, standard one. It's not proprietary, weird kind of shaped right here. I'm pointing that out because I did unbox some mice and keyboards that would have the audacity to add a Type C because they're forced to, but they would add some gimmick with, cuts into it or expansions, so you can only use their damn cable and nothing else, which at that point just don't bother even putting a Type C cable. Just F off and get the fine from European Union and shut the hell up. But here, luckily, it's just a normal cable. We also get this little dongle right here, so you can plug in your Lightspeed dongle, and then you can use something that you probably have lying around, which is a Type C cable, to connect it. Now this is really nice because typically if you have just this dongle and plug it into your computer, depending on where you plug it in, if it doesn't have a good line of sight to the mouse itself and, for instance, some distance, it will interfere with the signal and you will see some just degradation in the tracking. But with this extension, even though it's not really an extension, it's just a conversion, you can grab any kind of Type C cable that you have lying around, that you usually most certainly do, as all of us do have phones. So we have one of those lying around. You can plug it into computer, connect it to this, and it basically at that point acts as extension cable. I really like the fact that companies like mice ones do include this for the most part. Now, taking a look at the specifications right here, just a basic kind of marketing right here. So we have LightSync, Lightspeed as a connection technology. We have a Hero 25K sensor, LightForce switches, ultra fast power play. No idea what that is, honestly. And in terms of the actual specifications, we are looking at Lightspeed wireless technology, onboard memory profile 2 by default, with 5 using the G Hub. Now this mouse will work with the G Hub. I want to point out that for some reason the Logitech uses 2 different programs for their mice and just general keyboards and everything. So you have the MX ones, which use a different program, not the G Hub, and then you have the gaming ones, which use G Hub, which is kind of annoying. Why not just combine it all into one? But anyway, so you're gonna need the G Hub here. Moving on, we have, like I mentioned, 5 programmable buttons using that program. PTFE feet, as in the material, 13 programmable controls, 8 RGB zones, Type C charging, Now, tracking, like I mentioned, the Hero 25K, which gives you anywhere from 100 to 25.6 thousand DPI. It also has a 40G acceleration that it can handle, which, let's be honest, none of us can even output 40Gs with our hands, so not really a problem here. And 400 IPS max speed. It also has 0 smoothing, acceleration, and filters, which obviously makes it super accurate as long as you yourself are accurate. And battery life, it's rated for about 130 hours, assuming you're not using RGB. It's 37 if you are. And physical dimensions, like I mentioned before, 106 grams of weight, 131.4 millimeters height, 41.1 width, 78.2 depth. And that's basically everything when it comes down to the information for the mouse. Come on. There we go. Just yoink that off. And one more thing that I didn't actually mention is this right here. So this, if I'm correct, actually no, that might not be correct right here. It looks like they don't use that here. So some Logitech mice have this area, this puck, which you can remove and then replace it with a different one, which could technically still be the case right here. I'm not necessarily sure. I don't have anything to test it out, and I didn't see anything listed right there, but it could be the case. It's a gaming mouse, so with this kind of design. So what I'm talking about is Logitech has their own mouse pads, which allow you to basically use a mouse wirelessly, but have it constantly charged through some such a puck. So you'd replace this with a different one, and it basically acts like a wireless charger, the mat pad. Meaning that as long as the mouse is on a mouse pad, it's going to basically be charged, which is a pretty neat feature. But here, assuming this is even the case, we also have a compartment for our dongle. So you can just store it in here and drop in your mouse in the bag and, you know, have it all in one place. We have also like the Type-C charging port right here. And maybe let's just bring up the brightness a little bit so it's a little bit better visible. There we go. Overblown as hell, but at least you can see it a little bit better now. So here it is. Now if I turn it on, should have some, there we go, RGB. Let's see, blue by default. A little bit pinkish right here. Doesn't seem like it is a little bit in a breathing kind of state, but there we go. So solid mouse, feels comfortable in hand. One more thing that I want to mention, which I do kind of encounter quite frequently when it comes down to mice, which is their build quality. So I have encountered a lot of mice which are not flat, not entirely. And this basically results in the mouse just kind of like wobbling from side to side because it's just, you know, either warped somehow and it just isn't laying completely flat on the table. But here, there is zero wobble. It's completely flat all throughout on the table. So that's at least decent, especially for the price. Like I mentioned, this isn't the case for every mouse. Even when they're coming out at like over $100, they do sometimes wobble. So, you know, take that in consideration. Something that probably won't be necessarily that bothersome, especially if you're using a mouse pad, you might not feel it that much, but if you're using a flat surface like this one right here, you definitely can feel it when it's wobbling. And also, this probably goes away, though I haven't used it long enough to know, if you have such a problem, as you'd most likely just wear out the Teflon feet or whatever you have right there till it's all even. It's usually just like less than a millimeter of, you know, wobble. But because, you know, it's supposed to be on a flat surface and it does kind of, you know, tip, you can feel it. So anyway, solid mouse. And that about sums up everything that I wanted to talk about. So anyway, if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.